What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Ravens Rundown. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. And on today's show, we look at three news items I believe that the Ravens have been waiting on this entire season that we can finally say has been solidified through week 6. Can't wait to get into all of those with you. But before we get into any of that, I got to bring some attention to something. We are only 34 subs away from breaking last year's October sub number and the record for subs in October for the history of this channel. Last year, we ended the month with 1,242 subs. Halfway through, October 15th, we are already at 1,208, 34 subs away from passing last year's number, setting the record. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button. It's the best place to be if you're a Ravens fan on YouTube. You get a video every day. We are live for every single game. So again, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button. All right, so I want to kind of preface what I'm about to talk about because I don't like to talk in absolutes. I don't like to speak in absolutes until at least a third of the way through the season. And you're through 6 games now. You're more than a third through. And so now I think it's kind of finally time to start speaking in these absolutes, start saying these things about this team. These are the things we know. These are the things we've learned. This is the news that we finally received. Week 6, to me, solidified a lot of these things. We're going to start with number 1. The red zone offense for Baltimore is, in a word, special. It is unreal the way that this offense has operated in the red zone, and especially in these last 4 games. All right? Since the game against Dallas, this is what the drives have looked like that have entered in the red zone. Touchdown, 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 field goal, and it was a game winner, so probably could have scored there as well. And then Washington went touchdown, touchdown. That is absurd. That's ridiculous. And it's crazy to think that since the Isaiah Likely toe incident against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1, this team is yet to be stopped in the red zone. And again, the clock was the only thing that really stopped them there. They averaged 6.5 points when they enter into the red zone. That is absurd. And if you're a team that has many weapons as the Ravens do, and you can keep that going on a consistent basis, that's going to help you win a Super Bowl. That's going to help you get back to an AFC championship game. That's going to help you win an AFC championship game because they're operating in the red zone unlike any other team in football. So what I love about this channel is I talk, you talk, and we talk about it. So we've talked a little bit already about how the Ravens are so good in the red zone. I'll continue to talk about that. But why do you think that's the case? Okay, I want to hear your opinions. Put on the analyst hat, put on the headset, and let me know in the comment section down below. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, so to make that time go by faster, go ahead and go down to the comment section and let me know why the Ravens are so good in the red zone. And I think this is such a good jump for this team. And I think it speaks volumes, right? Right now, 75% of the time, this team's scoring touchdowns in the red zone. First in the NFL. Last year, 62.12%, still good, 7th in the NFL, but there still were the teams above them, like the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions, those teams who ended up going past their goals and the Lions making it to the NFC Championship, and then the 49ers coming just up short, but making it to a Super Bowl. So you got to make that climb, and it looks like over the last season they did. But if you continue down, it's just like it's gotten better every single year, and it looks like they finally made that jump back up to that upper echelon. And when you talk about red zone scoring, and when you talk about teams that win Super Bowls and compete for Super Bowls, this is a big category of discussion, is scoring the ball when you get in the red zone. When you're within the 20-yard line, not just settling for 3, but getting points. And if you enter the 20-yard line, you better get some kind of points, okay? And I think this just speaks volumes about the growth that this team has had over the last season. I think it speaks volumes, and the addition that Derrick Henry's been. And it's important because you're playing a couple teams over the next, 10 games this season that have really good red zone defenses. You're playing 5 that are in the top 6, okay? Or 4 in the top 6, but one of them you play twice. The Broncos, you got them November 3rd. They're number 1 in the NFL in red zone defense, 33.33% of the times other teams are scoring touchdowns against them. Steelers are 3rd. You play them November 17th. Eagles are 5th. You play them December 1st. Giants, kind of a surprise. They're 41.67% of the times teams are scoring touchdowns against them. You play them the 15th, and then you play the Steelers again on the 21st. So I look at this last 4 games and this winning streak. I accredit this statistic, the fact that you're scoring in the red zone as often as you are, as a big reason why they've been able to go 4-0, and a big reason why they've been able to do that against really good teams, right? It's not like they're beating up on the Carolina Panthers or the New York Giants or any of the bottom tier teams in the NFL, but you're doing it against teams that have AFC or NFC championship hopes or even Super Bowl hopes. And I think that's massive news when it comes to the Ravens' chances to get to the Super Bowl this year. Now, before I go on to my next 2 points, I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is GameTime. GameTime is a place to go for the best seats at the lowest prices guaranteed. The show is sponsored by GameTime. If you're excited the season's here, want to get tickets to the big game lockdown, you're going to want to give GameTime a shot. It's the only place I go when I'm trying to get tickets to any college football or an NFL game. GameTime has a new feature. It's called GameTime Picks, and that makes getting tickets to see your favorite team play live even easier. GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, GameTime Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. Guys, my wife makes fun of me all the time because I like to think of myself as a man who's frugal. Okay, I wouldn't say cheap. I would say frugal. She might say cheap. But if you're a frugal person like me and you're looking for the best deals, you're looking for the lowest prices, but you still want to have fun, go to all these live events, GameTime is the place to go. Lowest price guaranteed. They send you flash deals, last-minute tickets, and, of course, you get to see the views from your seats before you even buy the ticket. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? It's game time. So some more news that got solidified in Week 6. It's so simple and easy to see. Lamar is an elite passer. And that's been the knock on him, right, through his whole career. Everybody said, good passer, great with his legs, but he's not elite when it comes to throwing the football. I think he's proved this year that he's elite. Look at these last 2 games that he's played. The 2 games in these last 4 that you've asked him, hey, go win this with your arm. And he's done that. 46-68, 671 yards, 5 touchdowns, and only 1 pick. And when you compare him to last season through these first 6 games, man, he's been even better than last season. And he won the freaking MVP. He has 3 less completions, yet has 300 more yards, double the amount of touchdowns, 1 less pick, and he's been sacked 9 less times. And I'm just tired of the disrespect. I'm ready for it to stop, okay? Because I'm not just making up that people don't think he's an elite passer. Look at the quotes I pulled. This is just from these first 2 are just from the last 3 weeks. Ryan Clark, this last week, Jaden Daniels is a better passer than Lamar Jackson. Emmanuel Ocho, before the Bills game, Josh can run almost as good and Josh can throw way better. And then last year, in the end of the season, Emmanuel Ocho, I don't know why I'm giving him so much breath, but he said Lamar isn't even on Burrow's level. Right? So this isn't just motivation that these guys are making up or that I'm making up. This is things that people in the media are actually saying, right? They actually believe these things. And Lamar, time and time again, has proved them wrong. And I think that's the thing with Lamar. Here's my take. Week after week, like against Burrow, like against Allen, and even like against a rookie in Jaden Daniels, who's had a phenomenal start to his career, but saying that about a rookie against a guy who's won 2 MVPs is ridiculous to me. But week after week, Lamar's called out. And week after week, he beats the quarterback that's so on, quote unquote, better than he is. Every single week we see this almost. But then the bar gets set higher just the week after, okay? I've never seen a guy's bar get raised as often as Lamar's does. It's infuriating. I've never seen a guy that more people would pick other quarterbacks over him, yet he beats those quarterbacks more than Lamar Jackson. So I got a question for you guys, okay? Is Lamar the best quarterback in the NFL? Because like I said, week after week, guys are picking other guys over him, and week after week, he's beating those guys on Sundays. So what do you think? Is he the best in the NFL? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. My last piece of good news, the news we were waiting for, that we can say is solidified in week 6 is that Derrick Henry is this team's missing piece. You found the team's missing piece. And I know it's kind of ridiculous and sounds silly to say, Joey, to say you found the missing piece in running back when this team led the NFL in rushing yards last year. I know that kind of sounds silly, but to me, it just feels different, okay? Because you have a guy in that running back position that could take over a game. And when you look at the last 5 seasons, this team has been led in rushing by Lamar Jackson. That's a luxury that you have a quarterback that's able to lead a team in rushing. But that's never what you want, I think, for 5 years straight, right? You want to get a running back in here that can dominate, that can take over games. And I think that's a big reason. And I know you can look at the AFC Championship game and say, Joey, they didn't run the ball a lot in that AFC Championship game. You're right. The game plan could have been better. But, man, I think if you have Derrick Henry in that, it's a whole different story. Because when you look at him compared to Gus Edwards, and again, Gus had a great year last year. I think Gus is a really good running back, but he's not Derrick Henry. If you look, all of 23, Gus Edwards rushing yards over expected. He only had 51, okay? Only 51 more rushing yards than he was expected to get throughout the entire season. And through 6 games as a Baltimore Raven, Derrick Henry has 5 times that, 264. And it's a carry-by-carry basis as well, right? It's not just looking at it as a whole. Because Gus Edwards, all of 2023, his rushing yards over expected per attempt were 0.3. Derrick Henry is what? I'm trying to do some quick math. Is that like 12 times that? It's 2.3. 2.3 yards per carry, rushing yards over expected per attempt. When you compare him to a guy like Gus Edwards, who, again, I think is a good running back, they don't even compare. You found the missing piece, okay? You found the guy that solidifies your identity as a football team, as a ball club. And I could not be more excited about it. So we showed him a lot of love already on this show in the last 2 minutes or so. I want you to show him love in the comment section. Spam the crown emoji. Show the king some love. I want to see 22 of those from each of you to honor the king. Well, that's the episode today. So thankful for you guys that you tuned in, that you're watching this long, that you're a loyal subscriber. And if you're not, it's not too late. Go down below, hit that subscribe button, and join the family.